Hey guys, Scott with the Davidson Realty Team at Keller Williams, and I am here at Dutchtown High School today with Miss Shaw. She is the principal here. She is the one with the paddle on the wall with the holes in it, you know, when you get in trouble. I'm just kidding. That doesn't happen anymore. That was back in '80s when I was in school. But so thank you for taking the time to do this. My thought process on this is just kind of let's share some ideas so that when people are looking at schools coming in from out of state, especially, I mean, people that are local, they know a little bit. But people come from out of state are kind of looking at the school and they can see the statistics. I get that, that's boring, that's paperwork. But just some fun stuff, like maybe if you guys have some special things going on. So tell me, like, do you guys have any special events, like maybe on Fridays you guys do, something like that?
Well, we do have special events, and the events are, they come from our students, their ideas, and they come from our teacher leaders, their ideas, and then they all come to me and we kind of talk about it.
Yeah.
Once a month we'll have our little music fest where they get to listen to different genres of music during lunch. We have an international festival. We're the only school in the county, in the district, who hosts the international festival because we're pride ourselves on the diversity of our school, diversity of our staff.
What happens at that festival?
It is where all cultures, all demographics come together and they represent their culture.
Okay.
And it is huge. And we go to our feeder schools, which are four feeder schools. And we also put on a little festival for the kids as well.
Oh, fun.
So yeah, it's a big event. We do
so it touches on music? Does it touch on food and stuff too?
Arts, music, food, clothing.
Cool.
They give us a fashion show the day of the International Festival, and they get to wear the different attire from their country.
Right.
Represents.
That's a good way to try different food too.
Oh yeah, very good.
Better than a restaurant.
Yeah.
So tell me just some of the simple stuff, like the teacher-student ratios, like what it is, what you would desire, and I know it changes with programs, right?
Yes, it does change. Our school has increased. This is my 5th year, and it has increased. We are currently at 1725, and we're the largest high school.
In the county?
In the county.
I didn't realize that.
Yes. So when our class, when it comes to our class sizes, we have about 30 students per class. This year it increased to in between 30, 32, 33. We weren't expecting this many kids, and they're coming from everywhere.
Right.
Most of the times it's your neighboring districts, but that hasn't been the case.
Right.
So we have approximately additional close to 200 students this year.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it's been exciting though, because they've adjusted to the Dutchtown way.
Sure.
And our students who have been here prior to, they make sure and give them that support, especially our ambassadors, and show them the Dutchtown way first.
Very cool. So tell me something maybe about your school that I can't find on Google.
You cannot find on Google about our athletic program in terms of producing student athletes.
Okay, tell me more about that.
When coaches come in from the various schools, D1, D2 schools, they always have to interview with me first.
Okay.
So they will come in, meet with me. I will guarantee them that they're going to receive a student athlete. And then they will go to the head coach and meet with the head coach, and we have a process where the coach has everything together. They meet the student. But we monitor our students very closely.
Oh, good.
We make sure they take the ACT and SAT by their 11th grade year.
Yeah.
If they don't get the score, we make sure that we get them the support and tutoring to get the score. And our kids in the athletic programs, they maintain anywhere from a 2.9 all the way to a 4.3
That's
GPA.
fantastic.
So we make sure that when they come in, you're getting a student athlete.
Right.
So you can get them on athletics, but they can also handle academics too.
Right, because it doesn't do any good to have one or the other, right?
Exactly.
So actually, you made me think of another question there too. With regards to the SAT, ACT, the athletics, are you getting a lot of recruitment out of here into those schools? I mean, a lot of successful recruitments?
Yes. I have this year alone, 32 schools have been through here.
Wow.
And last year, the number, I lost count after 50.
Right.
A lot of huge schools.
And we're not even halfway through the year.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
And some of the coaches, I've seen them last year.
Yeah.
And they will come in and I email them and they keep in touch with me because, and some of the comments that they have, I appreciate it because it only helps us to become better.
Right.
And I think it's very important that my kids have good communication skills when they leave us.
Right.
And I often talk with them about that, and that's something that we really, really emphasize about having good, effective communication skills because when they leave the halls of Dutchtown, we want to make sure that they're prepared for the
Well,
world.
even bigger picture too, when they leave athletics 10
Oh,
years, 5 years down the road, they better be able to run a management or run a business or do something in insurance or whatever outside of,
Right.
I blew out a knee and now I'm broke.
And that's what we practice and talk to them about,
Right.
that it's about getting that diploma.
Sure.
It's not about the athletic, that's just an avenue to help you get there.
Right.
But again, coaches who do recruit, they always say you have an excellent program because your kids are academically or they're sound. I can get them an academic scholarship or they can,
Oh, that's huge.
take the athletic scholarship. So
Now, do you guys offer the dual enrollments or the APs, or I mean, like, what's the dynamic look like on that?
we have dual enrollment. We've doubled our numbers this year. We have 94 kids in dual enrollment. Last year we only had 38.
Okay.
I expect for it to increase as well.
Yeah.
We have the AP program where we have 17 different programs to offer.
Goodness.
Yeah, our
It was like
kids,
3 when I was in school.
I know, right? Yes, I understand. But it's really good and it's growing. And then our CTAE programs are outstanding. I can't say enough about them.
Right, tell me what CTAE
The
stands
career tech.
Okay.
Career tech. We
More of
offer,
a vocational side?
right.
Okay.
We have the engineering. We have.
Oh, like the robotics.
Mm-hmm.
That
We
type
have
of
a
stuff.
robotic club, but
That's
we have
cool.
the engineering, we have the ag science,
Okay.
healthcare science, we have a nursery where we actually have kids who come over and the kids keep the nursery, so we have that program, the culinary arts program,
Oh my
the
goodness.
business technology program, so, and the kids they love it, they
Sure.
really do, and it's a lot of great things, and we have video production programs, so it's a lot of great things going there.
Especially with all the filming in Atlanta,
Oh, yeah.
right? I mean,
All the
to
filming.
step up to it.
Yes.
That's fantastic. You've actually opened my eyes up to a lot of things that I honestly did not know. I mean, I know we talked before we even started the interview about what kind of questions and stuff like that, but this is really kind of enlightening to me because I haven't been in school since the 80s, right? So, I mean, I'm looking at it going, boy, times are different.
Yeah,
Right.
they're very different, very different.
So tell me something, maybe the funniest thing that's happened to you recently that you can share.
Funniest thing that has happened recently. I'm a huge sports fan,
Okay.
and my players know I'm going to be on the sideline with them.
Right.
And they nickname me, my name is Nicole, but they nickname me Coach Nick, as in Nick Saban. And one of my students was running the football back for a touchdown, running back for a touchdown. And I ran all the way down the sideline with him to the end zone.
Right.
And the parents saw this, and I had family members who were in the audience, and they videoed all of this and said, "You are just crazy. You ran all the way down the sideline with this young man to the end zone,
Yeah.
And he saw me running. He was like, and when he came from the end zone, he said, "Michelle, you ran all the way down there with me, But I was just caught up in the moment, and I'm there with them on the sideline to encourage them and
Absolutely.
really help them. And then we've had such a fabulous season. We've undefeated season.
Oh,
So
wow.
we're 10-0,
Good.
going to the state playoffs, But
Good.
I've watched those kids grow up,
Yeah.
and I've watched them just stay disciplined and stay focused on their academics, and I'm so proud of them.
Major difference from being a principal and somebody who cares and part of their life, right?
Yeah.
Did you tell him to speed up next time because you beat him to the finish line or the goal line?
No, because that particular student also won state championship last year in track, so I just kind of caught him at the end.
That's
But,
awesome.
I can't say enough about the one thing that I always emphasize that in everything we do is about putting kids first.
Yeah.
So this is not a job for me. This is a calling. I don't mind getting up at 5 o'clock, coming to see my babies every day.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, maybe as we wrap up, what would be something that you think that your students would be very surprised to find out about you? Do you have like a special singing talent or?
They would be surprised that I actually played sports.
Mm-hmm.
I think the staff would too, because they're always saying, no, she's kind of prissy and, she's involved in student government, that type of stuff. They would be surprised to know that although they know how much I enjoy sports, and
Right.
they know other things, like I like to read and work out
Of
and
course.
things of that nature, but
What sports were you involved in?
I was involved in basketball.
Okay.
And I played ever since 6th grade, all the way through 12th grade.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, but they would be surprised about that. I know they would. I never tell them anything. I don't.
Well, and when you and I graduated, you could be a little shorter and play basketball.
Yeah.
Now you have to be like 6'8" and plus.
Yes,
I mean, it's
exactly.
Even the girls in the hallways were like, because basketball was going on in the lobby.
Yeah.
Or while I was standing in the lobby.
Yeah.
And I'm looking over there going, holy cow, they're tall.
Yes, they really are.
Really
They're,
some tall girls.
I mean, really tall. I also want to kind of go back
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
I missed something that was very important when we were talking about programs.
Yeah.
I have to talk about our fine arts.
Please do.
Our band has grown in numbers. Just, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
They have, just this fall alone, they've placed in, the last competition was in Harris County.
Nice.
They placed 3rd place out of 14. My band directors are young men.
Okay.
And they are building the program. They're just doing an outstanding job. Last year, they sent a total of 14 students to the state in terms of their talent.
Right.
And they're teaching our kids music, they're true musicians.
Right.
It is just unbelievable. As well as the chorus and fine arts, theater, they're just doing so many.
Yeah.
I allow them to take those chances and let's see, try it, and the kids love that. But they're building that program tremendously, and I'm so proud of them.
That's amazing. That really speaks to my heart because that was my world. I was not an athlete. I was actually a all-state drummer. So I was in the band at Riverdale High School and all-state and all that fun stuff. And it was such a bond with your bandmates, obviously, and that is and you know this as well as I do, that when you're talking about cuts and funding and all those things, the fine arts and the band, like it's hard to find a store that can sell you a clarinet.
Yes.
Right? I mean, simple as that sounds. It's just it's a lost art, and it's not coming upward probably. It's probably going downward. So to have band directors that are really pouring in and taking those chances with the marching band, the concert bands, and orchestras and symphonics and all those different things. Chorus, it's a low budget. Right? It's phenomenal talent. My daughter's in chorus. But it's a lower budget, it's easier. When you have to buy a tuba or a marimba for $3,000 and fit that in the budget. Uniforms.
Yes.
So that's huge that they're standing behind that.
Yeah, they are, and they're doing such an outstanding job, and every year I'm seeing something different. This year our show was The Wiz.
Oh yeah.
Just totally outstanding. They're doing a great job, and I was in a band too. I played the flute as well. So, they might not know that. Well, they do. The kids do, because I'll go in there and I'll say, I played the flute and the piccolo, and so they know that. But I'm proud of them. I'm so proud of them and how and where they're going. I'm gonna take it to new heights.
That was the only way I was finding myself on the football field, was playing the music.
Playing the music.
I was, I'm tiny now, but I was even smaller then. So. Yeah. Well, good. Is there anything else that you can think of that maybe I haven't touched on that like special program? And I know you talked about the fine arts. Maybe how parents get involved.
Oh yes. And there are. I truly believe it takes a village here. I really stand behind that. I hear the voice of my students. I hear the voice of my parents. I hear the voice of my faculty and staff. I believe that everybody's opinion does matter. We have a very involved parents. There's not one single time that I can call and ask for anything that they're not going to come to the rescue.
Good.
And I appreciate that. And they understand how serious I am about the academics of our kids. And to have parental support behind you when you're trying to accomplish a goal, it makes it that much easier to achieve.
Sure.
We have a very active school council and a very active volunteer group who really gets involved in the school with the different activities. Our students, I have a group of students called my ambassadors who serve as official hostess of the school.
Okay.
And they're those leaders who they have to interview for the position, and they have to have a certain GPA, and we only choose 30 per year. But they're the quiet leaders who say, I don't have to be in front, or I don't have to run for SGA president, but I'll help you get the job done.
Right.
But when people come to visit our school, I get ambassadors and say, take them on a tour.
It's like the directors of First Impression.
Yeah, exactly. So they go on a tour and they tell them the history of the school.
Fantastic.
They tell them what we're all about. They tell them the vision, and they'll say, Ms. Shaw she believes in putting kids first in everything we do, and that they hear that all the time. But through the parents, through the students, and through my faculty and staff, they make all of this a whole lot easier
Yeah.
because we all work together as a team.
Yeah,
So that is
absolutely.
our complete village of making things happen.
That's phenomenal. That's huge, actually. Well, good. Well, I greatly appreciate you taking the time to talk to me about all this stuff, and I'm just going to make sure that we put some phone numbers on the video so that people can contact the school if they have any questions. Put the websites on there so if they want to go online and do some of the typical statistic stuff. And I just appreciate you taking the time to really kind of open up our eyes so that it's not the stale cement box that we see school as sometimes. And that there's real people and real care and there's real love in the school for the people involved, and I think that's just huge. So thank you very much for taking the time to do this.
Thank you for being here.
Alrighty.
I appreciate it.